Welcome back to another episode of G-Man Fishing. We're not doing our typical fishing video today. We're doing a review on the rods and reels and lines. Well, we're not going to show this. Well, that'll be in the second part, which is the lures and stuff that we used, because this is going to be a two-part video. The first one is going to be the rod and reels and the line that I used last year. If you like this kind of content, I need you to click subscribe and like. And if you don't like it, I need to know too. So you can go ahead and put a thumbs down. Most YouTubers won't tell you to put a thumbs down. Or leave a comment that you don't like it. Because I need to know. How am I supposed to make better content for you guys if I don't know? So I'm going to take that risk and I'm going to say like, dislike. It's up to you guys. I'm making this stuff for you guys. So I need to wish you all a happy new year as well. It was a great 2020 for fishing. Not so great for the hunting because we didn't get that. We weren't successful. It's just kind of the way it goes. Now I forgot my hat. What's an episode of G-Man Fishing without my Kansas City hat? Now whenever I'm fishing, I'm going to be wearing a Kansas City hat. So it's just the way it is. Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not from Oregon, so I'm not rooting for the Seahawks, and I'm not rooting for any California teams. I'm rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I got a better hat for you anyway.
What do you mean you got a better hat for me anyways?
It's Baby Yoda.
Oh, I'm sorry, but get that out of here.
And it has a little penguin.
That's
Here, wear it.
Not better, no.
That is weird.
I'm not wearing Baby
Please.
Yoda. Okay, she wants me to wear Baby Yoda, so I will. That's G-Man daughter, Krista, of course. But anywho, let's get into all messing around aside and get it to where y'all can see my face fairly decent anyways. Put that hat up instead of down like I like it. So I originally already shot this, but the sound for whatever reason did not come out. So I'm reshooting it. Hopefully the sound comes out this time. You guys can hear me. Let's pray, alright? So I'm going to start out with the one I use for steelhead fishing with the side planer. It's the 8.6 Berkley stick. Heavy action. It's my salmon rod / side planing rod. It's got the Ambassador reel with 20-pound Power Pro braid. And then it goes down to, you put the side planer on the braid. And then it goes down to monofilament leader, to barrel swivel, and then to monofilament leader with a quick fish. I don't know how well y'all can see it. I can't see the back side of the camera. And that's pink and silver. And I swapped out the treble hooks for a side wash hook right there, just so y'all can see a little bit. And if you're watching my videos, you know we tore up some fish with this in 2020. Great setup. I got a lot of good comments. You know, I have good comments on the rod because I like the rods. I use two different rods mostly, and one's the Akuma and one's the Berkley, and those are the two rods that are stable on G-Man Fishing, as well as Power Pro for the braid. I do have some P-line braid, but when it comes to monofilament, I use P-line because it's really, in my opinion, the best line. Some people would disagree with me, but I've not had any problem with the monofilament of P-line. So that's all I have to say about that. And you know, that's a good rod for salmon fishing and steelhead fishing. No complaints from me on that. So I got to do a review on two reels that I bought last year and one rod, because I did buy two reels last year, well, it was 2019, and I don't give a review on things unless I've used them for a year. So that's partially why I'm doing the rod and reel review. But you know, I'm going to give you my honest opinion on these reels. And that one Abu Garcia Ambassador reel I've had for 20 years. I kid you not. And it's still performing. So it's a great reel. I had a Shakespeare Galaxy that I had for many years, and finally it gave up to Ghost, and I used that for, well, me and Relda, we used that for 13 years before I finally had to retire it because it's just making too much noise, and a reel that lasts that long, you kind of want to preserve it. So we'll probably never use it again because we just don't want to break it. So anywho, the second one is the Okuma reel with a Okuma rod. This is an 8/6 medium action spinning rod and reel. It's got 8-pound P line. You're going to notice that most of the time I'm using 8-pound unless it's braid. Or if I'm sturgeon fishing with my sturgeon gear, then I'll move up to 30-pound test. This reel I bought last year, or in 2019. And you see, I should have done this review before the end of 2020, but it's the beginning of 2021, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Good reel, cost me $20 in 2019. It's performed well. Definitely would recommend it if you're looking to get into something that's not too expensive of a reel. Definitely a good reel. The rod, you know, I use Okuma's, great rod. I use Berkley rods, great rods.
Isn't that my pole?
Yes, it's your pole, baby. And then I got, I paired it with a Panther Martin, plain gold. I use it for steelhead fishing, trout fishing, bass fishing. So, and when I do buy a rod, I buy it with the intention of using it for steelhead fishing. So any rod that I do get is usually an 8/6 because that's what I like to use for steelhead fishing. And usually I like a medium heavy, but spinning rods, it's hard to get a medium heavy that actually performs like a medium heavy. It's more like a medium action rod. So, but overall, that's a great setup there. Good for castability. The 8-pound P line casts smoothly, so I can't complain about that. And then the next rod I got here in reel is an IM8 Berkley 8/6 medium action rod with the Shimano reel. Now this reel, I don't have a lot of good things to say about it, but I mean, it is one of a cheaper end reel made by Shimano, and I do like Shimano's, and they perform really well most of the time. But this one, for whatever, has just been one of those oddball ones that I think, in my opinion, hasn't performed. I mean, we've used it for steelhead fishing, trout fishing, bass fishing, cat fishing, sturgeon fishing, and it's making too many noises. The screw for the handle part here wouldn't stay in there. I don't know what went wrong there. But overall, a Shimano is going to be a good reel. So don't knock it. I think I just got one that just wasn't up to par. But like I said, it's a Berkley stick. It's a great rod. I can't say the same for the reel. I'm going to have to replace the reel real quick because it is just not doing the job it was bought for. So, but overall, the rod's a good rod. The reel's done okay. It hasn't done the best, but I'm sure it's just one of those ones that just, I probably just got a lemon is all. So, and then my next rod and reel is my babies, one of my babies. I love this reel. I love this rod. It's a tank. Both of these reels are tanks that I'm going to show you. The rods do the job perfectly. You're not going to hear no complaints. I didn't get a lemon with this one. This is my Curado Shimano. That is a beast of a reel. This is a smaller one. I got the bigger one too, and I'll show you that here in a minute. It's got a nice deep spool, large line capacity. That's what I like about a Shimano. I've used other bait casters for steelhead fishing. Don't have the capacity, don't have the beef that I'm looking for. When I got these Curados, oh, they're green. I'm telling you, don't get me wrong, I've used some other ones and they're good. Other bait casters, they're good. But a lot of times I can't find a bait caster with the line capacity of these Curados. I'm telling you, they just got the line capacity that I like. And I paired it with the IM8 Berkeley medium heavy for steelhead fishing. That's what I use for steelhead fishing, especially on my bait casters. On my spinning outfits, I'll do a lighter action rod, just because you can't find that medium heavy. So and then it's paired with the braid, the P-line braid, 20 pound and a 6 pound diameter. And then I got a 8 pound mono leader. I got a float with it because I do a lot of float fishing with this one, and jigs and worms and whatever have you when I'm fishing different bodies of water. It's a great setup. You can never ask for a better setup. The only setback to that reel is the expense. It's not cheap. It's not something I recommend for your everyday or for your angler that's only going to fish a couple times a year. And if you don't have a lot of money to spend, I wouldn't buy it because it's just astronomically high for somebody who's not going to use it a lot, and for somebody who's not doing hard fishing, which when you're steelhead fishing, a lot of times it's hard on your gear, especially when you're getting hung up, you're hooking big fish. You need something that's going to handle it. That I've had this one for 7 or 8 years. The other one I've had for 6 or 7 years. I haven't done the math and looked back when I got these reels, but I know that they're at least that old. So Cerados are well worth money if you can afford to buy it with cash. I would never recommend anybody buying anything on credit, but that's a beast. Now here comes the pop of the two Cerados. This one's the big bad one, and it's beefed up for some serious steelhead fishing, salmon fishing, bass fishing, catfishing. It'll handle pretty much anything I want it to. And that's the bigger Shimano Cerado. I mean, that thing is like 2 times bigger. Got a bigger line capacity. I can put 300 yards of 8 pound test P-line on there. It'll take the whole 300. That one will only take about 200, the other one. But it's beefed up, it does the job, and it's lasted a long time, and that's what I need. I need a reel that I'm gonna have for 10, 12 years. I don't know if it'll last that long, but I've definitely got my money's worth out of this reel and the other one. It's paired with the, like I said, the 8 pound P-line monofilament with the 9 foot medium heavy Okuma rod. Great rod. I don't have any complaints. It's got the backbone I need, because sometimes I'm casting halfway out in the river, and then I'm letting line out to keep the baits on the bottom, the lures that I'm throwing, because steelhead fishing, it just seems like you have to be on the bottom, getting snagged up when you're fishing in order to catch them. That may not always be the case for everybody, but I find that if you're not getting hung up once in a while, you're just not catching steelhead. So, highly recommended reel. If you don't have money, don't buy it on credit. You can buy something a little more affordable that may or may not last as long as this, and it'll do basically the same job. It won't have the spool capacity either, but will do the job that this one does. I seen a Silver Max this year, made by I believe it's Abbott Garcia. I'm not real sure, but I had a friend that went out fishing with me a couple times. You've seen him in a couple videos. That's Victor, the guy I call player. And one of those videos says international fishing with an international player on it. So he uses a Silver Max, and I believe it's an Abbott Garcia. I'm not 100% sure, but that thing was nice, and it's a lot cheaper than that reel. Now I haven't used it much. I did cast it a couple times, and it was a really nice smooth reel. So there are other cheaper ones out there. I just don't know if they're that good. I have tried some other ones, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want you guys to go and pick out a reel and then find out that I've had troubles with them. Because I didn't have any luck with them lasting for a long time, doesn't mean that you guys can't. If you're fishing for a different species of fish, maybe it'll last longer. So I'm not going to give you negative feedback on those reels unless I'm using them all the time. So the only reason why I gave a negative review on that one Shimano is because I use it a lot. My daughter uses it a lot, and it has given us some problems. So with that being said,
Before he ends this video, in the first video that we tried to record about his poles, he was asking about his accent. He doesn't think he has one, but he does. So comment down below if you think he has an accent and where you. I know you guys know where he's from, but if you don't, take a guess and let us know in the comments.
man.